everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin. Somewhere in West Texas, currently fiending for withdrawal from monster hunting, Rocky Hardy.
Hey.
Rocky, are you fiending? Do you wish you were riding on a Rathalos right now?
Okay, full disclosure, I was playing Monster Hunter about 3 minutes before I jumped on my mic, and I might have a problem. But, I'm having a good time. To put it into context, the game came out Thursday before last, and I've already clocked more than 60 hours on the game.
Jiminy Jesus.
God.
That's where I'm at.
Rocky, this is also an intervention.
Tegan, I think all our problems would be solved if we all just played a little more Monster Hunter. That's all I'm saying.
And I think that's fair. Unfortunately, I was out of Monster Hunter commission last weekend due to a sick-ass migraine, but I'm going to be on the case this weekend. But, Rocky, to put this into perspective, you're putting up Tegan playing Zelda kind of numbers on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And also,
let's get it.
This week, from somewhere in the Eastern Phoenix metro area, our former VR expert and now current developer of ethnographic study video games, Joe Spiro.
Joe's not here this week.
Oh.
Yeah, Joe's not here this week.
God damn it, Rocky. When I asked you to prepare the show prep document...
Really?
No, I'm back.
You knew Tegan was coming back.
I'm in office. Hi, it's Tegan from the heart of the Midwest somewhere or something. Eating breakfast, like usual.
Tegan Somerset.
Wait, Tegan does eat breakfast.
Tegan,
and it's like 10 o'clock,
Tegan
11
eats
o'clock.
breakfast,
Yeah.
It's noon. But Tegan eats breakfast on the show.
Let's be fair. It's
noon is lunchtime, Tegan.
Not when it's the first meal of the day. It's not.
Bowl of Cheetos with fucking ranch dressing and whiskey, or some such nightmare fuel.
It's a strawberry shortcake.
You're having dessert for breakfast, Tegan?
It's got strawberries in it. Strawberries are fruit. That makes it healthy.
Yeah, this is on brand.
I'm also having a big glass of milk.
Yeah, this is on brand. All right.
It's delicious.
Okay, all right.
Don't knock my delicious cake.
Rocky, I'm looking at the notes that I have in front of me, and one of the things that says in them, because we have a bullet-pointed list that we maintain, of things that we'd like to talk about. And what it says under your name, Rocky, is, I have a hunger that can only be sated by more Monster Hunter World. You have Monster Hunter occupying 4 bullet points, motherfucker.
Dude, I've played like 60 hours of this game in the past week and a half, man. Like, I have so many swords. They are super gnarly. I have fought some things that are really interesting. One of the things that I've had a lot of fun with recently is the turf war mechanic of the game. In old Monster Hunter games, sometimes they would give you an added challenge by throwing multiple monsters on the same map. And for some reason, whenever you would end up on one zone where 2 monsters were also there, they would just target you. So it would just be you versus the 2 monsters. Like, screw ecosystems, screw the food chain. It's like, what? There's a dickhead monster hunter on our map? Let's both gang up and kill this goon. Like, yep. That's how it's been for like the past 10 years or something. But in Monster Hunter World, monsters, when they see each other on the map and they see each other before they see you, they will throw down against each other, hence the turf war. And you get some really interesting interactions. One of which there's a raptor that has the ability to do a flashbang in a giant cone. And when it comes up against flying monsters, it'll try to flashbang them out of the sky. And that gives you a free knockdown, so you can go ahead and take advantage. There's this one, I want to say sort of feline, maybe, what are those called? Ferret type monsters. And it was it found another large lizard that's covered in the bones of its enemies. And they squared off, and and the giant lizard thing is 3 times the size of the ferret. Well, this ferret's done, right? But nope, ferret just jumps on its face and rips its nose bone clean out. And it's just oh my god, what? It's really great. Or I had two Diablos, like, basically lock horns with each other, and the bigger one threw the smaller one, and it took like 1,000 damage. So, like, that just saved me a lot of time. It's really cool, man.
I had a little bit of confusion. When you said that the monsters were having a turf war, I initially thought that what was going on was that the Velociraptor really liked ketchup, and then the Great Jagras really liked mayonnaise, and their shit was popping off in the jungle.
To be fair, my experience so far with multiple monsters on the same map, like big monsters on the same map, has been that they both come directly at me and try to kill me still.
I mean, that still happens from time to time.
It's happened
I was
every
actually
time.
Well, like, what you have to do, like, turf wars happen when the monsters see each other before they see you. So, like, if there's a monster that's already targeting you, and you walk into a new zone where there's another monster that just targets you, then they're both going to target you.
Oh, so I'm just fucking up. I'm just bad, is what you're saying.
It happens. Like, honestly, like, if you see that there's two monsters in a space, the smartest thing you can do is, like, find a bush or a wall or something and just crouch behind it. And just hide out and see what happens. And on the other side of that, Tegan, I noticed that you were picking up the sword and shield because it's a much faster weapon than the other ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that I would suggest is when you start building like swords and shields, when you start upgrading them, you'll notice that like the elemental damage will be a lot higher than most physical damages or its raw damages. So what you want to do with it is take advantage of the weapon's attack speed and just run up onto something in like their weak spot, like their leg, their face, their tail or whatever, and just hammer it with attacks as much as you can, because that's how you optimize your damage. Because it's like a very fast swinging weapon, you stack elemental damage very quickly, as opposed to raw damage where you score a knockdown and then collect your damage. Yeah. Also, if you get into the status blades, like the ones that do paralysis, poison, and sleep and blast, which you'll get later, those things are actually very useful because they only deal damage when they stack high enough. Like poison, like you have to damage enough to get the poison status up, and like since swords and shields have really fast attack speeds and more poison than usual, they can basically keep a monster perpetually poisoned instead of like every 3 minutes or so like other weapons do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm at a point where like the whole thing's in full swing. I'm in high rank and the monsters are truly terrifying. There's like a monster that kind of reminds me of like a Quellacanth, but it's called a Piscine Wyvern. That's how it's categorized in the game. Earlier in the game, like it just swims in water and mud, and you have to like wash off the mud to like get at its actual parts and then damage it.
Is that Stegosaurus fish that we were fighting before, that we almost fought before?
Yes, that's the Juratotus.
That was chasing the flamingo raptor. I'm just we need a segment that's just how me calling monsters not what they are, but what I think they are.
Oh, Tegan, you gotta. So there's actually a long history of that in the Monster Hunter fandom.
Good.
Like
Yay.
yeah. I think I actually sent you a video of the. Oh man, I forget what it's actually called now. It's like this big green thing, and it was horrifying.
Okay.
Yeah, but that thing, I forget its actual name now, because I've been calling it the pickle for years, because that's what everyone calls it. It's like, yo, we're about to go hunt some pickles, y'all. Let's go. and people like, it's like new people that aren't familiar with the lingo. They're like, what? That's a pickle? Oh my God, it's killing me. It's ripping me apart. It's like, yeah, that happens. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
What did you call that thing, Tegan? A flamingo what?
No, not that thing. We were fighting this thing that, it begins with a K, but it looks like a mix between a flamingo and a raptor.
It's called the Kula Yutku, but it looks like a flamingo raptor.
Yeah.
It has bright, like, colorful feathers.
It's got, like, the flamingo beak, but it runs around like a raptor. Like, It looks like a flamingo raptor.
It looks like a flamingo raptor. She's not wrong, man.
Yes. Brian, you just need to come play.
Yeah,
I need
Brian,
to play more, too, because I'm bad. I'm bad, and it makes me mad.
the fun things about the weapon that you chose, the sword and shield. There are like two types of people that play sword and shield. It's the people who've like literally never played the game before, or the people who are like career veterans that have played like every single game since the ones that came out like on the PS2.
Oh, nice. So it's a mixed bag.
I've never seen like a sword and shield like start to get good, which is why I'm really interested in like teaching you how to play. But like I'll see like new sword and shields that like, you know, they use it because it's a really safe weapon. Like you can use items without putting your weapon away. You have really fast attack speed. Your movement isn't like encumbered or anything. And I see like pro players that'll immediately just like walk up to a monster and roast it in 3 minutes. And it's just like, oh man, like how are you doing this? Who are you, man?
Gotcha.
Like it's really sick.
Well, I'm definitely the player that continues to sharpen their blade because they forget which button is which. So I've been running up to monsters and then sharpening my blade.
I've been there. It's
a bad time, man. It's a bad, but I've only died once. I've only officially died once, so.
Wait, like carded or like been kicked off of like a stage?
Like carded. That's
really impressive, actually. Shout outs.
I figured out how to dodge, so I'll be like, I'll start doing the animation to sharpen, and I'm like, no dodge, no, and I just like roll around a bit, and I'm like, okay, how do I swing my swords again?
So Tegan's working on the dodge sharpen strats, like getting that sharpen roll down. You know, like that's.
I mean, it basically means that the monster goes, well, this one doesn't have any fucking idea what it's doing. Let's try and kill it, and then other people can kill monsters.
Oh man, Tegan, like they're like I'm not sure if you've left the ancient forest yet.
Nope.
Like if you've gotten to. Okay, so Tegan, there are some truly horrifying monsters out there, and I can't wait to show them to you. I am so excited.
I mean, you took me to the desert area.
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't run into like a Diablos or anything. Well, it's okay. I'm going to show you some things. But there's a thing like the fish monster, the Stegosaurus fish monster that we ran into. So there's a different biome, like once you get to high rank, which is like a mountain with a active volcano in it. And, in there is a lava version of that exact same fish monster. Like it does all the same fish things, but now it swims around in lava and it spits lava at you. It's pretty intense. Like I just killed my first one yesterday. I gotta go kill another one so I can finish, its like set of swords. Actually I don't even need to kill it. I think I just need another fang. So I just need to like, you know, play Dennis for a bit, but I could do that. It's not too hard. I've been playing the shit out of Monster Hunter World. It has been an excellent time. I'm having the time of my life. Oh my god. But when I wasn't doing that, in addition to, you know, other things like eating and going to work, I've been messing around with D&D stuff. I currently do run 2 campaigns, and I've joined a third one as a player.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's the same campaign. I'm just running it twice, like just twice a week.
Rocky doesn't sleep, I don't think.
I don't sleep well. Like I average about like 5 hours a night, something like that.
God damn it, Rocky. You see, normally it's God damn it, Tegan. This is God damn it, Rocky. God damn it, Rocky. You need more than 5.
No, it's fine. I have an uncle that like has slept for 4 hours a night for the past 30 years, and he successfully runs a nonprofit. Like he's okay. Like I'm pretty sure I can do this.
No, Rocky.
Okay. No, but Brian. So, this new character, I'm so excited. I'm making a bard, right? And I found out in 5e that, like, one of the character things for bards is that they all go to college at level 3.
Bard college? They go to Bard college?
They go to Bard college. Yes, Tegan. And my character is a recovering frat boy that's graduated from Bard college.
Oh my god.
Yeah. His name is Jason McHarrison von Farnsworth.
What the fuck?
He graduated from the College of Swords, majoring in scimitars with a minor in mock fights. He moonlights as a vigilante with dual scimitars. He has a pompadour, and it's a family haircut. Like, everyone in this family has these goofy-ass pompadours.
So you made a JoJo character? That's also a Futurama reference?
Okay, so the pompadour is a JoJo reference, but there are more anime characters with pompadours. Like, they're actually very prominent in Yakuza.
To be fair, Alex cosplays a couple characters with pompadours, so, like, I'm well aware of how, like, popular they are, but, like, he sounds like a JoJo's reference more than any other kind of reference.
He's kind of a JoJo reference, but he's also, like, you know, he's a frat boy. He's, like, he spends his nights, you know, drinking, wooing women and getting into shenanigans. Like, you know, your classic, D&D, like, bard. And, oh man, he's also moonlights as a vigilante. He goes under the name Ace. He calls himself Jay for short. He's fighting to avenge his best friend, Promachus, or Promo, as, after he was captured by a wizard on their last adventure. And, like, now he's going to Demon Town. And it's, man, I'm so excited for this character. I'm gonna have so much fun.
I have a question. As
sure.
a DM. Mm-hmm. If I were making a bard whose instrument was a drum, could I drum on anything and have it count? Okay. So, the way that it would work is that, you would have your drum, which you could use, like, generally. And considering that we're in 5e, I think what would happen is that if you were trying to perform on a drum that is not actually a drum, you'd be rolling at disadvantage, which means that whenever you attempted your perform check, you'd roll 2 d20s and you'd have to take the lower result. Could I make my drum the ground?
No.
Basically, I want to know if I can make a tap dancing bard.
You can make a tap dancing bard.
Can tap dancing be my perform?
Yes. Actually, okay, so the thing is, my bard, since he graduated from the College of Swords, even though he is, like, musically trained, he can use all manner of blades as a performance item.
Dude, I want to use tap shoes as a performance item.
I'm pretty sure there's a dancing bard.
Dude.
Like, there's a college for it. I can't remember which one it is.
Amazing.
But I'd have to check.
I make a bard who, like, puts on shitty puppet shows?
Could we be an entire group of bards?
Yes. So actually, the bard that I have, the way that I built him is that he actually has a pretty competent con stat in addition to his dex and his charisma. So he's like a weirdly beefy, lithe bard. So he's kind of a frontline fighter based off of his, like, College of Swords tech with, like, support magic. So, I mean, ironically, I think I actually could have been playing a paladin, but I didn't feel like it. That's just where I'm at.
Okay. Bust this. I got a bard, right, who's going to put on shitty puppet shows. Mm-hmm. But the shitty puppet he made is a puppet of a bard.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So it's a ventriloquist bard?
Right.
But does the puppet have different skills than the ventriloquist?
I think you could. You could animate it like a construct with magic, like, as a bard. Dude. So yeah, you could run that. That 100% works.
Oh, man.
We have a quad bard party. This is going to be bad.
Incredible.
No, it's going to be great, guys. I'll be the frontliner. Brian will be the controller. Tegan will play support. And I guess we could use a straight DPS bard, which, you know, just, like, spec that into Hunter or something. And that'd work.
Man, the last time I tried to play some D&D, like, I had a big dumb idea for my character. And I was like, this is the right brand of stupid. This is what I want to do. And so I was a gnome merchant. And yeah, it's
sick.
Right. And like, I was a real jerk store, and my character was kind of like this, like, xenophobic merchant. And you know what's not good? Being a xenophobic gnomish merchant. But yeah. So, like,
that does not sound profitable.
I had some struggles. And, like, I had, like, an item I was trying to return to my mentor. I was like, I need to return this to my mentor. He's the best. And unfortunately, at the same time, there was somebody in our party who was trying to win D&D, and it all just kind of,
I hate that.
The wheels came off that wagon. Oh well. This
The
does
last
make
time
me
I played D&D, I was a cleric, and I didn't take turn undead, because I didn't think I'd need it.
Oh man.
And then Alex played a hunter, or maybe a druid. He summoned snakes, that's what he did. And all of his snakes...
So he's St. Patrick?
All of his snakes had better rolls than he did, so Alex was over here trying to kill our allies on accident, and his snakes were actually being useful. Because whenever Alex rolled for himself, he just sucked. And every time he rolled for the snakes, it was great. So it was like, and our entire thing was like, I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I got this! And I'm like, your snakes got it, you don't have shit! And that was the entire thing.
Could you be a D&D summoner who summons pandas?
Okay, so...
Could you be a D&D summoner who summons Final Fantasy characters, who summon great gods?
Okay, so two things. One, technically you couldn't summon actual pandas.
Good.
But you could summon constructs that look like pandas. Because I don't think pandas, like, as an animal, exist in the D&D universe. Like, I haven't seen anything about it. But you could summon something that is panda-like. And as for summoning other characters that could summon other characters, potentially, but that's at least like a 8th level spell slot. Like to summon someone like Cloud or Yuna.
Just Yuna. I just want to summon different iterations of Yuna.
Maybe, okay, so I don't think that would be a straight up summon, because like it's not part of the D&D Pantheon, but I think you could use a wish to do it. But, like, Yuna would be independently controlled. You wouldn't be able to control Yuna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I summon Diva?
With a wish, not with a summon.
I need a lot of wishes. I wish
you
for
get
more
one
wishes.
per day, I think. It's like it's a level 9 spell, which means you get access to them at earliest, like, level 17, and, like, latest level 19 if you do get access to Wish. So it's, like, one of the last things you get access to.
What? That's less fun.
Well, like, Wish is a busted spell. You make a wish and it happens. Like, that's way too strong for, like, anything.
I want to waste a wish.
Oh my god, you can, Tegan. You just gotta make it.
I want to make a character who just, like, they wish stupid shit all the time and it just happens. Man, I wish it was raining. Just pouring rain all the time. Wow, that was convenient. And it's just like dumb shit all the time. And they don't realize they have wish. They're just like making wishes randomly. That'd be fun. I like that.
So, Tegan, other than wanting to make a shitty character who doesn't realize they have wish, what else is going on with you?
I listened to the podcast last week. Joe, if you're listening, you're wrong. On a lot of stuff. That's a lie. You're right about most stuff. But, you're wrong about everything you said about Cardcaptor Sakura. One, it's fucking great. The art style is almost exactly the same as it was originally. They've just turned up all the colors better, like into brighter colors, because the technology is different. They have all the same people, the same animators, it's at the same studio, they got the same voice actors, the same director, the same person who did the last opening theme is doing this opening theme. Like, the band is back together for Cardcaptor Sakura. So, like, you're wrong about it looking weird. It looks exactly the same as it did in the 90s. Just, like, very tiny updates. So, on that. And you're also wrong because Sailor Moon's a fucking great show. And you can suck it. Sailor Moon's such a good show! It's all about, like, not taking shit from people as a girl. And, like, not letting what society defines you as like, impede what you can do. And, like, 90% of the stories end up being, in a lot of weird ways, survival stories about trauma. So you can suck it. Sailor Moon's a great show, and it held up fine.
So Tegan, this kind of feeds into a regular bit that we seem to do, which is Tegan grades the show that she wasn't on.
Oh, yeah. Is it a letter grade or is it a number grade? I forget.
I think that it's dealer's choice, whatever you want to go with.
I give the show I wasn't on this time, a solid B. Pandas are still good. Anime's great. You guys are wrong on that. But, extra bonus points for calling out Brian on his bullshit. Of liking a limited event when it's not available all the time. So,
And I was thinking more about that after the show, and trying to, I guess, pin down why I liked it in one context and not in another. And like what I think might potentially be the thing that sticks in my craw. Because one thing I like I said in the show, I'm open to finding out that I'm an asshole, but I also like to try and I guess figure out root causes of why I think the things I think. Mm-hmm. And I think that the difference that kind of rubs me the wrong way is that the event that I'm describing in AC Origins isn't necessarily one which is designed to, say, build fundamental skills and doesn't represent, say, a essential core component of the gameplay experience. It's not say, a third of the map in AC Origins is just, off limits. Where you're I could see this whole area, but, this third of Egypt I can't go to right now. And also, it's designed to happen once you've hit level 40, which was the base game's level cap, meaning, if you're doing this event, you've already hit the level cap, meaning that, you already have, built all the skills and learned all the stuff to get here. You had to hit level 40 in order to participate in this, which is why I equated it to, a single-player MMO raid. Because, raids are in-game content. Right. And, it's in an MMO, you can't just be oh, well, I'm going to go run Ice Crown right now in World of Warcraft. Warcraft won't let you run Ice Crown or any other raid until you've achieved the level cap, because in that case, you won't have the tool set to necessarily enjoy it, which made me think more about Splatoon stuff. And so what it made me realize is that that there are differences in the kinds of gating that Splatoon does to different types of content. So the gating it does to ranked play, I decided that's smart, because not allowing somebody into ranked play until they've gotten themselves to a higher level forces them to develop a tool set in order to be able to compete effectively. And I'm okay, so that's smart, because that's kind of the same fundamental MMO logic, which is go build a tool set before you can participate.
Right.
The difference, and that's where I'm okay, so I need to apply more nuance to this Splatoon thing and go okay, so the ranked thing is smart. The withholding certain types of competitive matches until you've spent more time with Turf War, because Turf War is the fundamental essentials of just how to keep move and communicate with
how to use the gun.
Exactly. The difference is that specifically Salmon Run doesn't necessarily intersect with that, because it's fundamentally a different kind of play, since it's P versus E tower defense. So it doesn't necessarily intersect with all of that required learning for a PvP environment. So like all of the gating and stuff in the PvP space, I think I'm like now 90% good with, which is like all of the match types. The only thing in the PvP space I think I still have trouble with is the map rotation, because that seems to be a holdover from the Wii U's install base. But the stuff about like, oh, okay, you can't get into ranked yet. I'm like, that seems to make sense from a player experience standpoint. So the only thing in PvP I think I still have an issue with is map rotation. But I don't think that Salmon Run necessarily intersects with like the skill stuff for PvP. So like, I think that they could still let people, you know, do a little work for Grizzco whenever they want. So hopefully that made some sense. I am, of course, like I said, open to discovering that I'm an asshole.
Alrighty. I mean, I guess that made sense. It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
So, than just like, I don't like this thing. And we're like, why don't you like this thing? And you're like, 'cause I don't. And I'm like, okay.
I think I had ideas before that were fully developed. I just think that some of those ideas were wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. It all felt arbitrary before, where like thinking about it now and contextualizing it around like, you know, player engagement and player skill makes some of it less arbitrary. But by discovering that some of it isn't arbitrary, it does highlight that a little bit of it is. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Cool. Good times.
That's fair.
So there's a thing in here, Tegan, I want to ask some details on. It says that you cried over food, parentheses,
I did.
in a good way.
I did. So, I was away last week at OhioCon with my friends, which is an anime convention in Ohio. And the name is a pun and I love it. So, you know, Ohio means good morning in Japanese. And Ohio is the state that the convention's in. And they're pronounced exactly the same, but the spelling is different. So having OhioCon be the big winter convention in Ohio is fun. But while I was down there, my good friend, Miss Bugcatcher Haley, she was like, so what we need to do is, while we're down here, I need to take you to this Japanese restaurant. And I'm like, okay, is it, like, and she's like, it's so good, and I think you're gonna love it. And I was like, oh, okay. So we left the convention and we drove 15 minutes away, and we went to this delicious restaurant, called Tencent. And it's like, there's like a Tencent, like a shop, and then there's a Tencent bakery, and then there's a Tencent restaurant, and they're all like in the same little block. And, so I just sent you a picture via the Fawbook group of the food I ate. And basically, like, I went in, and all the food looked, like, all the pictures looked right, and I was excited. And they were playing Japanese music, and I was excited. And then there were Japanese people ordering in Japanese, and I got really excited. So I went up to the little counter, and I ordered, one gyudon, which is the beef and onion bowl thing in the top corner, and that's got some, shredded ginger in it. And I got, the gyoza, which are the pot stickers, which are pictured upside down, because that's how they plate them. And I got a potato croquet, which had, peas and carrots inside. And because I got the gyudon as like a full meal, I got some miso soup with it. And, oh my goodness, I was so excited. And I got there, and I took a bite of the gyudon, and I started crying! It was so good! It tastes just like the food I had in Sukiya in Japan. And it made me so happy I cried. And I've been thinking about that food, that bowl, for 7 days now. And I just loved it so much. And it was so good. And I cried. And I'm gonna cry again, because it was so good.
Oh, goodness.
It was so good, you don't understand. I took a bite. I was like, hump. And then it felt just like Japan. It tasted just like Japan. It, like, all the things. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And then I started crying. I'm gonna cry now, it's so good! Oh no, I'm not crying. I'm just crying a little bit. You can't prove I'm crying! Ugh.
And so, Tegan, what have you been playing?
So, as you're well aware, Brian, you so graciously gifted me Nier Automata for Christmas. And in the time since I've last been on the show, I've cranked a good solid 58 hours into that game. I finished the first playthrough, which got me ending A,
yep.
and endings S, K, and W, which I guess are miscellaneous endings.
Yep.
And now I'm on my second playthrough where I play as 9S instead of 2B. And I've gotten ending G, which is also a non-ending ending for literally turning around and going the wrong direction. Whoops. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of if you walk in the wrong direction and the game doesn't want you to go that way, it'll just end the game and run the credits for you and say, like, you did a dumb thing, but there you go. So, like, one of the endings is, like, one of the like, people or androids you're trying to help is like, hey, I have this mackerel fish, and apparently if an android eats it, it messes up their system, and I kinda wanna see what happens if you eat it, but, like, don't blame me if you die. And I was like, okay, and I ate it, and I died. So, like, the dumb ending is like that, it runs the credits super short.
Yeah.
So.
You know the space station up in orbit above Earth?
Yeah.
Have you self-destructed on
The
that
bunker.
space station yet?
No.
Yeah, that's an ending too.
Could I do that? Oh. I've accidentally pulled out my operating system because I went, what does the OS chip do? I don't think I need it. And then I pulled it out and it was like, no, if you pull out your operating chip, you'll... And then it cut and I was like, damn it. And then I ate the fish and I walked the wrong direction as 9S and I did something else that was dumb. I don't remember what. Oh no, at the very beginning where, you do your black box destruction. It was like, it ran credits and I was like, man, that was 20 minutes of gameplay, and I've already finished the game. I was real confused. But I really like it. I love the music. I love the music. I'm so mad I didn't play this before, our Game of the Year conversation. Because, oh my god, I love the music. And I love the characters, and I changed the voices to Japanese, and I was sitting there going, this voice for 9S, like, I love this voice. This boy, I'm gonna die and cry for this boy. This boy I will do anything for. And so finally I was like, who's this voice actor? And I looked it up, and it's the same guy. The Japanese voice actor is the same guy who does the voice for Tai Kamiya in Digimon. And I was like, well damn! Like, no wonder I love this boy and would die for this boy. And I was real worried for a second that it was gonna be, TK's voice actor, and I was gonna be like, well, I clearly have a type. But yeah, and speaking of Digimon, I've also started, Digimon World Cyber Sleuth. Because Hacker's Memory came out earlier this year, and I did buy that. But apparently if you don't play Cyber Sleuth, you're real confused as to what's going on in Hacker Memory. Cause it's, basically the same story, told from a different perspective. So I'm kind of interested to explore that. But Digimon Cyber Sleuth is definitely, it has a very, like, dot hack dungeon crawler feel. I don't know if you played dot hack. But, like, even in the way that the anime is structured, like, it's basically a dungeon crawler where, like, you run in, you explore all the rooms, there's, like, set pathways that you can go, there's, like, open areas you can explore, and then there's set pathways you have to go through in the dungeons. And the set pathways part is what, like, the cyber world is like, and it's called Eden. And I've already got what I'm dubbing the best Digimon team, which is actually probably the worst Digimon team, but like, I don't care. Because it's all my favorites. So I picked Terriermon as my startermon, cause he a little cute, little cute Digibun. And then, I also have a Patamon and a Salamon, which means I have all of the holy angels as my partners. Cause I'm a dork. And, I've also managed to evolve a Ranamon, and I have, I'm about to have a Gabumon, and, a Palmon I'm gonna get here in a second. But like, wow, the way that Digimon works is not how I thought it worked. Like, from the anime. Like, there are so many of these little baby Digimon evolve into many other Digimon that I'm like, wow, these branching trees though. But then it also makes sense why there's only like 4 different types of baby Digimon, so. Yeah, well, I think there's 6 actually. But yeah. I'm like, oh my god, so this baby Digimon evolves into this guy, and this guy? What? And then I'm like, oh, now Marine Angemon makes a whole lot more sense, cause you can get Gomamon from a Puyoman. And like, I know this makes no sense to you, but it makes sense to me! But it's a lot of fun, and like, because the main character in Digimon, with the exception of exactly one, the main character, the leader of the Digidestin, always has goggles, and so I have goggles, and I'm using, because I picked the girl avatar, I'm using my goggles as a hair tie. Which is arguably the stupidest thing. That's possibly the stupidest hairstyle I've ever seen.
Something I've heard about this particular Digimon series is that, you know, the Cyber Sleuth and the Hacker's Memory is that it feels like the Persona games.
Yeah. I'm willing to say it's similar to Persona, having only seen Persona and never played Persona.
Is there some component of these games where you're like, say, building or focusing on your emotional connection with like party members?
I don't know if they're really party members. There is like a texting system called Digiline, because it's a Digi something if it's in the Digi world. But so like in Digiline, I can respond to like other people who are texting me.
Okay.
But like my character is in a very unique situation where my body is in a coma. And the body I'm running around with is literally just comprised of data. So, I'm kind of a Digimon? I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing, that's for sure. It's very, Digimon Frontier, which is season 4, where the kids are the ones who Digivolve. But I don't Digivolve. I just have a team of Digimon, and I can, like, Digi-download other Digimon as long as I've scanned them enough. So I could get lots of the same Digimon or something. I don't know. The evolution tree thing seems like it's gonna take a while for me to figure out. But, the fact that I have access to the tutorials all the time is really helpful. I don't know. It'll be neat. I'll let you know how it goes. 'Cause I'm also playing... I'm also getting ready to start Horizon. I do want to get, like, there's 3 main endings in Nier. You said endings A, B, and C are the ones I need to get?
When you do your third run, when you do the third playthrough, you will get endings, C, D, and E from that playthrough. Those are all core endings, but you get those from one playthrough.
So am I getting ending B this time then? Okay. So yeah. So after I get, I don't think it'll take me too long, to get the rest of the endings for Nier. But after that, I want to play Horizon, and I really don't want to do my top 10 of 2017 post until I play Horizon. Cause like right now I've got a solid like 6 games that I'm like, yes, this is a game I would consider like a top experience for me. But like, even though I've played more than 10 games, or I played more than 10 games last year, like, I don't feel like enough of them were like top tier experiences. Can I also say that that Breath of the Wild has been out for almost exactly a year? I've put almost 400 hours in it, and I'm still learning new shit about the game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's silly season, man.
Yeah.
I love games like that. Which, admittedly, is like, you know, the kind of thing that drives Rocky's passion for, Monster Hunter. That it's a game which is like constantly revealing little secrets to you. Mm-hmm. Which is just totally wild. And I need to get in there and get in and experience some of that, because that sounds like some of the shit I love. So you
It's not as fun without people, I don't think, Monster Hunter. I was having such a salty time until Rocky was like, come play. And I was like, okay, I'll come play with you. And then I was like, this is much more fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that taken, that kind of sounds like Brian's experience.
Well, that was Splatoon 2, where you didn't have fun until you joined us. And even then, you weren't really with us, but you were with us.
Right, because then it was a social experience. But, like,
yeah,
just sitting alone on my couch, I'm like, oh, wow, so this is a sheer wall, and gosh, like, where's the incentive? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think Monster Hunter Worlds is Tegan's Splatoon 2. Now we need to figure out what Rocky's Splatoon 2 is.
It's true.
We gotta find a game that you and I are super passionate about, that he gets into it and he's like, man, this game, not having it.
I know that you've put like a zillion hours into Breath of the Wild, but allow me to offer you another reason to turn on your Switch. There is a Vigia game, called...
No way, there's a video game on the Switch?
Yes.
Holy fuck!
This particular one is called Celeste.
Ooh. Yeah. That sounds like my jam already. It's got a pretty moon name.
So, it is about a woman named Madeline, who decides that she is going to climb Celeste Mountain.
Oh, okay. Celeste is a mountain.
Yep.
Nice.
And, like, when the game starts... we do not know Madeline's reason for climbing the mountain. They are hers. They are personal. But it's like something she, like, needs to do. She's like, I need to climb Celeste. And so the game is this, like, platformer about climbing this mountain, and you meet some, like... You'll be climbing the mountain and then come across some, like, wild shit. Like, oh, look, here's another person who's been climbing, like, by his campsite. Or, like, holy shit, there's, like, a hotel. I was not even expecting this. Like, you'll encounter people on your journey, which will kind of, like, give the game opportunities to, like, kind of unfold Madeline's reasons and, like, what's going on. And as you move from, like, zone to zone in the mountain... they start to, like, encounter like new environmental mechanics without ever changing Madeline's moveset. So, like, you never pick up new moves, but the mountain starts to do new things, and so you have to figure out, like, how to interact with those new systems with your existing moveset, which is fun, because it's progression without having to worry about a progression tree. And the game is also, like... super balls hard without being an asshole about it, which is rare these days. The game has also a variety of tools for adjusting the difficulty. It doesn't necessarily just have, like, a single slider, which is, like, normal, hard, and, get good. It'll have stuff like, Madeline normally has, like, she can do, like, a single air dash during a jump. But you can individually adjust Madeline's air dashes. You could say Madeline has one, which is normal, or you can say Madeline has 2, or Madeline has infinite air dashes.
Ooh.
Also, you can adjust, like, say, like, okay, I feel like I would be able to get this if the game literally ran 10% slower. You can that finely tune just the speed of movement and the speed of the environment. So that way, like, you can control just the overall, like, momentum of jumping speeds or, like, moving platforms. Like, you could, like, say, turn down the speed of the game 10%. So it has all of these, like, accessibility features, and, like, the menus in the game are, like totally worded in ways which are, you know, inviting to use the accessibility features. So, like, these accessibility features are here, you know, for people who want to experience the world of Celeste. You know, certainly give the game a try, you know, without any of these turned on. But if you need them to get in here, if you would like them to be able to more deeply enjoy our world, then, like, definitely use them. And so by, like, setting them out as, like, a variety of independent, you know, individual controls for different components of the game, then it means that you don't necessarily get locked into just, like, making the game not engaging to you individually, because you're like, oh man, I can always land those jumps. You know, I just wish the air dash went a little bit further, then, like, add a second air dash. So, like, this game's still running at the same speed. You still don't have any invincibility or anything. It just, you're just fine tuning the way that you're touching it. So that way it can still feel hard without necessarily feeling, like, inaccessible or off-putting. And I think that it's a really, really good idea, because there's a lot of games out there which do a amazing job at, like really, really strong world building, but don't necessarily consider that when they lock all of that behind, like, an entirely vertical difficulty wall, that there are going to be people who never get to experience all of that radness. The world of Cuphead is fantastic. There are lots of people who will never see King Dice because of all of the shit you need to do before you can see him. I also played something on PS4, which is
not Monster Hunter for some reason.
Look,
and not near.
Look, all right, look, goddammit, both of you. I will turn this car around. So I played a game called Iconoclasts.
Okay.
Which, strangely enough, also came up for fucking Vita. Like, it actually came up for Vita. And is got, you know, cross-buy and cross-save, so God bless. So Iconoclast is a game which has been, like, in development for, like, ever. This guy's been working on this game for, like, 8 years.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So much.
It's what happens when you've got, like, a dude making a video game for, like, ever.
True.
But it has some of the best, like, pixel art that I have seen in a long ass time. Like, you know, one of the things that, like, that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks is, like, starting to, like, you know, make each other aware of games that all three of us need to play, so that way when we get to Game of the Year, if there are games that we individually need points of reference on, like, we could be like, you know, guys, like, I really think that you needed to play X. You know, like, I wish that, like, you know, in April of last year, say, Rocky had stood on my neck and been like, dude, you need to start this fucking Persona game now, because this game is 120 hours if you're lucky.
If you're
and,
lucky.
Like, if you get to November and start it then, we're all fucked. Or it could have been, I could have been like, hey, look, you guys need to find some way of getting this near shit, you know, like, hashed out. So that way, well, it's obvious to all of us, I think, that, like, Monster Hunter World is one of those. But two games that like you guys are going to need to get your arms around are Celeste and Iconoclast.
Oh, I'm so hyped for Celeste. It looks so good.
Oh, Celeste is the fucking jam. Moving in that game feels amazing. Moving in Celeste feels so good. It feels about as good as using your wrench in Iconoclast. I strongly, strongly recommend that you guys like just kind of drink in how pretty this game is. It's ridiculously gorgeous. So the point of this game is that you're a girl named Robin, and you live in a world where being a mechanic, like, who has not been like, granted the right to be a mechanic by the government is illegal. You have to be licensed by the government to be a mechanic, and so she's like a rogue, self-taught mechanic.
Reminds me of someone I know who's a rogue, self-taught chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's this like sinister religious organization called the One Concern. And the people are ruled by something that calls itself Mother. And so like you kind of like get into this like liberation plot, and it's I am used to, when I play games that I would describe as Metroidvanias, not really getting a lot of like good writing or cool characters or a world that is interesting with its storytelling. Usually I am a motherfucker with a whip or a gun, and that's what I'm going to do. And they're like, "You've got a whip. What do you want from me?" And that'll be the
trick.
And so, like, to get good storytelling and to get good characters, like, that, makes me happy, because I don't usually get that with these kind of games. Like, I enjoyed being able to, like, wander through town in the game and, like, meet all the cool people who live there. Also, the boss battles in this, like, Metroidvania-style game feel very much like Mega Man-ass boss battles.
Sick.
Yeah. Which is like super, super good. So like real strong recommend. Music is super nice. And in addition to like your gun that you have, you also have a wrench that you can use to interact with like environmental puzzles. And so, like, you'll come like to a sealed door and be like, okay, like, obviously this is a kind of door that I can open with my wrench. I just need to figure out where the wrench point is. How do I get there? And then, like, finding the environmental puzzle to, like, access the space that will open that door, which will lead to whole new exciting places in the map. Very, very pretty. Get your hands on this game.
I'll add it to the heap.
I also did some more fucking around with my Game Boy Micro. Mm-hmm. Because that's a thing that Brian is way into right now. And I picked up a copy of Drill Dozer. And the reason I wanted to pick up a copy of Drill Dozer is that it is a game developed by Game Freak that has no fucking Pokemon in it. It is a
okay.
Yes, it is a non-Pokemon Game Freak developed game. Which is always interesting to me, because like it's very easy to forget that Game Freak does stuff which is not Pokemon, and that they are, in fact, an independent developer, and some of their shit, which has nothing to do with Pokemon, isn't even necessarily Nintendo exclusive or even Nintendo published. Mm. Like they did that game a couple of years ago called Timbo, the Badass Elephant, that was like published by Sega.
I love Timbo. Like, I'm sick.
Oh, yeah, Timbo.
Yeah, and so, like, it's weird because, like, when you're not thinking about Pokemon, it's easy to forget that, like, Game Freak exists. So I wanted to play this game because I knew that it had environmental manipulation in it. your character has a cool drill, and you can use it. It is also a Metroidvania, but you have your character Jill has a big ass drill that she can use to like, you know, create her own paths in the environment. And so it's like very cool to like figure out like, oh, can I drill through this wall? Oh, can I drill through this ceiling? What'll happen if I drill through the floor here?
But can her drill pierce the heavens?
Yeah!
That's unclear, Rocky.
Nico.
But
I want to see it. I want to believe.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you.
Yeah, dude, you gotta believe in the Jill that believes in you that believes in Jill.
I can get behind that.
Gang.
Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Brian?
Anime. It's always anime, dude. Woo!
I'm gonna
Tengen Top and Gurren Lagann, the best mecha anime.
It's really up there. It's top 5. Okay, but Drill Dozer.
All right.
Jill can drill through things and stuff.
But one of the things that this game does, you ever get used to stuff on other platform, but when you have it on a platform where you weren't expecting it, you take it by surprise and you're like, oh man, because I wasn't expecting it here, this is the fucking best. Game Boy Advance does not necessarily have any kind of like built-in rumble feature,
right?
Unlike, say, like most modern home console controllers. So the Drill Dozer cartridge has rumble built into the cartridge. So this game has rumble, so you'll be sitting here playing your fucking GBA game and all of a sudden experience rumble because of the game. And you're like, whoa, it's rumble. When I spin my drill, I'm getting rumble. This is out of bounds.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm easily amused. Brian loves rumble. He's a child. Also, I finished the main quest in the expansion of Assassin's Creed Origin, which kind of makes me realize that I just need them to make a larger quantity of Assassin's Creed Origins, because I tore through that expansion about as quickly as Tegan tore through the fuck you fork stuff in Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, oh wait, I get to go to the Sinai. I'm back. Oh wait, I'm done. God damn it. But Rocky, we've got business related to the afterlife.
Man, it's not even
it
the afterlife
took you so
anymore.
long to get to it.
Like, oh god. I mean, the show has always been wacky. There's no way around that. But while the episode was good, I really liked Eleanor basically trying to get a second chance on Earth. I need a bigger twist than the power of love is what stops them from going to hell. You know what I mean?
I do not think that is necessarily it, sir.
Okay.
I think that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The central thesis of the show, which is becoming evident, is that people need people, and it's our capacity to need each other that makes us better.
Okay.
The show did some like very, very subtle storytelling with like how Eleanor finds Chidi, in this like reboot of being alive. Because you recall where Chidi was when he died, right?
I actually don't remember how Chidi died.
Okay. Chidi died because someone pushed a window-mounted air conditioner out of a window and it landed on his head.
Oh, yeah.
And it was because he was standing in the middle of the street, like, quibbling over something, unable to make up his mind while talking to his best friend, who he was supposed to be the best man in a wedding for. And that happened in France. So Chidi was not teaching in Australia. Chidi had never been to Australia, which means that...
Wait, no. Brian, you read that wrong. I got it. That's not Chidi. Again. That, because they're in separate, pods, I guess it's possible that Michael may have put the real Chidi in, Australia to give that lecture series so that Eleanor could see him. But the simpler, solution is that instead of taking the real Chidi out of his simulation and putting him into Eleanor's, he made a idealistic Chidi, the Chidi that, or rather the best version of Chidi. For
I don't think it's a simulation. I think that they were actually the conversation between Jen, the Eternal Judge, and Michael seems to imply that these guys have actually just been replaced into the world at the time of when they would have died. The thing that makes me wonder, one of my most immediate questions is if in the cases of these 4 people, what happened is that their deaths were now narrowly averted. Does that mean that Jason is now in prison? Because he died as a result of a failed robbery when he was hiding inside of the safe, and he suffocated. So was he already in that safe, already trying to commit that robbery when he died, or was the intercession that saved his life somehow earlier? So that's an outstanding question, but man, now both of y'all are not as old as I am, who is slowly ambling toward death.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm kind of on a fast track at this point.
Oh my god. Well, Tegan does not eat well, so that is a fair point.
And I don't breathe very well either.
God damn it, Tegan.
So says Mr. 4 hours of sleep when my uncle works at Nintendo.
Hey, first of all, I'm gonna live forever. Okay?
I guess where I was going with that is that I am old enough to see putting Ted Danson behind a bar again as kind of a big deal.
True.
You know, that there is some emotional resonance to giving that character dialogue that sounds like it could easily have belonged to either Michael or to Sam Malone.
Yeah.
And to have him introduced in that scene by doing the signature gesture of Sam Malone with throwing the bar rag over the same shoulder. Okay, show. Okay, Michael, sure. I see what you're doing. And I'm impressed that it took you 2 years to that's some patience. You're like, nope. Now do it. So I think that the thesis of the show is that people need people. And not necessarily that love conquers all. It's that, people need to, support and uplift and help each other. It just so happens that part of that connection for those 2 particular people includes love. But that is not the whole of their connection.
Okay.
Earlier in the episode, there's a great scene between Tahani and Eleanor, where Tahani tells Eleanor, I could not have been better if you and I had not been mates. Stressing the idea of connection, stressing the idea of lifting each other up.
About that. So I read that a little differently. If I think of Eleanor Shellstrop as potentially bisexual, that was actually just innuendo, tossing a bone to the shippers, because there is a pretty strong fandom that is interested in Tahani and Eleanor being endgame romantic pairing.
I hate the internet.
I don't care what the internet does as long as it doesn't injure somebody or they don't ship real people.
Fair enough.
The last thing I wanted to talk about before we dug into news is something else from the internet, which is terrible, but in a way that resonates with me.
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
It is at VG_erotica. It is a bot that combines together excerpts from romance novels with dank video game memes. So I am now going to share with you some exciting tweets from VG_erotica. Ahem. He slowly leaned down to kiss her, long and lush. It's not the only thing I'm good at. Her eyelids flickered at the erotic promise in the words, and she said softly, Crunch is always the failure of project management.
What?
God damn it.
Gregory, his name pulled him from his reverie. What now? He met her smoldering blue eyes. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
She exhaled audibly, and he turned his head towards her, giving her a view of one perfectly curled ear. I don't know what that means, but okay. She never noticed anyone's ears before. What is it? He said, his voice a low gravel. Check out my Tracer cosplay.
Fucking, are you guys kidding?
What the hell?
Okay.
What is this?
Okay, alright.
Can we do a pod that's just reading these tweets?
Okay, Tegan, the next one down, I'll lead, and then it looks like the woman says the last line. This is going to be a collab.
Okay.
His leg pressed distractingly against her own, his gaze, a mosaic of color that hid his thoughts so very well. She swallowed, hesitated, and said the only thing she could think to say.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I fucking quit. I'm going home. Like, God damn it.
You already checked out for like 20 minutes, Rocky. You are stuck on this hell train with us. Oh my god,
right, okay,
what is this?
This is the last one, I promise. Or at least the last one for me. Ian pressed a long, lingering kiss on her extended wrist, the hitch in her breath. At the touch, a reward in itself. He whispered his words to her skin. How do I enable the mini-map?
I'm crying.
Oh
my
so
God.
fucking good.
What are you going to do? He was close. She could smell him. Bergamot and cedar. She paused at the sensation of his breath brushing over the skin of her cheek. Download your patch. What the fuck is this?
It's so good. It's
No,
so
it is.
good. Oh, Jesus, I hadn't even seen that one before.
All games are political. Oh my god, I love this.
Yeah, that was the one I saw.
I can't even read these. I'm not going to that page. I'm not going to do it.
All right.
I'm gonna send them to you. I'm gonna directly send them to you.
I know that I said that this was the last one. I lied. Here's one more. I have to. He pressed a kiss to the soft skin at the base of her neck. She gasped his name. He scraped his teeth across the soft lobe of one ear until she shivered in his arms. Talk to me. Graphics 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, that Twitter wins this week. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so good.
Oh no, I'm just gonna send you some of these.
God damn it.
Rocky.
Hey, Tegan, you know how we were talking about how we need to find something that you and I are big advocates of that Rocky is resistant to?
Is this it? Is this erotica Twitter the one?
I think video game erotica might. Well.
Oh, Jesus God.
So do we want...
I hope our listeners enjoy this as much as we have. I'm gonna follow this Twitter.
Well, guys, do we want to switch from talking about video game erotica to the news?
Please.
Sure.
So, guys, I'd like to start by talking about a hot rumor.
Uh-huh.
The rumor come out.
So, there's smoke on the street that Microsoft is looking at buying EA.
Yeah, I need those Kill Bill sirens, like, right now. Also, Uma Thurman deserved better, but go ahead.
So, an inside source at Microsoft anonymously told Jason Schreier that Microsoft is looking at buying EA and Valve. Valve has since responded to this. Gabe and his knife collection have said that there is no way that they are going to allow a Microsoft buyout of Valve.
Good luck. Because, like, if there's anything that Microsoft has, it's money.
Yep.
And they can just keep throwing it at people until they sell their shares. And they can't do anything about it. Hashtag capitalism.
The difference, though, that the reason that they couldn't just do that in this case is that Valve is a privately held company. They are not publicly traded.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So,
I figured they were.
Even if Microsoft wanted to attempt a hostile takeover, they can't because Valve isn't traded. And as much as I hate a whole bunch of shit that Valve does, so much so that it's become a regular feature on this fucking show.
Yep.
One thing I am way on board with is the idea of privately held companies, because I believe that that's probably the only possible path to any kind of like ethical execution of capitalism, because it doesn't allow for like shareholders to drive the business's direction. It also means that Microsoft just can't be like, and now we buy Valve. So good. Fuck them. However, something that is publicly traded is Electronic Arts. Electronic Art.
So go ahead.
Yeah, their market cap, meaning that the total value of the company, is $35 billion. And Microsoft has a cash reserve, meaning cash that they just have lying around. Their cash reserve is $139 billion.
So that's like a quarter, roughly. No, it's less than a quarter, right?
Yeah.
Like 140? Yeah. So less than... No. It's almost exactly a quarter. Actually, 35 times 4. Yeah, that's 140. Yeah. So, like, they could, spend a quarter of the cash that they have, and now they own EA. Like, they could just do that. And it's not even going to be that much. There's, like, I know the market cap's $35 billion, but they're probably not going to end up buying for $35 billion. Unless, like, EA gets really antsy, but I don't know. I feel like they could definitely get a lower price. And that's really gross, considering what, like, Microsoft is considering doing with, like, online. Them acquiring EA is definitely for the technology and the people that they are, like, fostering there, as opposed to, like, just owning Call of Duty.
Well, that's Activision, bro.
Not Call of Duty. What am I thinking of? Star Wars, Madden, NBA Live.
Well, yeah, I mean, NBA Live is for the most part like a shit license these days because the sales of NBA Live are way behind NBA 2K.
And FIFA.
Yeah, but FIFA makes money hand over fist. And I saw a whole bunch of people like wringing their wrists and being like, oh god, Microsoft is going to take all of these things, exclusive. And I'm like, settle down, guys. Here, first of all, when Microsoft bought Mojang, they did not take Minecraft exclusive. And that is part of Microsoft planting a flag on everybody else's platform.
Yeah.
Like when you... Like, one of the things that launched this week is like a new Xbox character pack for the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft.
Jesus.
Which means that, like, you can now, like, run around with your, like, Master Chief skin in the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft. So, and in order to access that, you have to log into an Xbox Live account. So people are logging into Xbox Live on a Nintendo Switch to get this fucking, skin for their Minecraft game. And I look at the stuff that, like, EA has and the stuff that Microsoft is doing, and I see, like, them finding a way of kind of leveraging their plans, their vision of the future onto everybody's platform. So, imagine a world where the only stuff that Microsoft takes exclusive to the Xbox platform is the stuff which is not licensed from EA. Like your Dragon Ages, your your Mass Effects, stuff like that.
That's gross.
Which is not, licensed property. So it's like, hey, you want to play a new Dragon Age? You'll need an Xbox. Hey, you want to play Mass Effect? You'll need an Xbox. That kind of thing. Like, you want to play Need for Speed? You'll need an Xbox. Now, the stuff which is all licensed, like your sports games and your Star Wars games, those stay multi-platform, but now have features that require an Xbox Live login.
Yeah. It's like Microsoft is playing like Monopoly. They're picking up properties. They're like building houses and hotels and shit.
Yeah. Now, this is some long game shit. Especially, considering that like they've got this thing now where Microsoft first-party games are available day one on Xbox Game Pass. So now all of a sudden, little Timmy is going to be like, Mom, I want to get a PlayStation. I want Star Wars. I want Madden. And, I want a video game. And, like, Mom is like, well, I can buy Timmy a PlayStation. And I can buy Timmy Battlefront. And I can buy Timmy, the Madden. Or I can buy an Xbox and sign up for this Game Pass thing. And Timmy will just be able to play Battlefront and be able to play Madden, and I don't have to buy them. Like, I think it is actually would be in the long term worse for Sony if they allowed stuff like the EA Sports or the Battlefront games to continue to be multi-platform, because it would make a use case for showing like, see, look at all this great value over here. Do you see the great value? On PlayStation, you have to buy Battlefront. Isn't that a bummer? Isn't that a bummer buying Battlefront? Isn't it a bummer?
Okay. Well, no, I get that. I get the low impact user gravitating to Microsoft because of Game Pass and access to games like that. But I don't think that's still the driving force in the industry. I don't want to throw them. I'm not going to discount that group of people, and having that income is definitely powerful. But I don't think it's enough of them to justify a loss over the long term unless you start doing things like microtransactions. And there are people that will definitely shrug that off. And, like my mom plays Bejeweled all the time, and she'll throw down a little bit for a bonus like level or a costume or something like that. But I still think that the people that get mad about these things are still in the overwhelming majority. And I think that's not going to discount them yet. I think that Microsoft definitely stands to profit from the moves that they're making, but I'm not sure if it equates to a fundamental shift, or not just a shift, because shift is a much smaller word, but a upheaval of games as we know them.
Okay, let me throw you some more Darkest Timeline shit here.
Okay.
One of the things that EA has, which is worth a whole lot of money, is Frostbite. Frostbite is a really good game engine which is designed for supporting games which are first-person, graphics intensive, and support a lot of multiplayer online. Mm-hmm. So, for all the things that people said sucked about Battlefront 2, one thing that people didn't really have a problem with was how the thing looked. It may have been a shitty, evil bag of tricks, but it was a good-looking one.
Yeah.
Battlefield also runs on Frostbite and is easily one of the best-looking games on consoles. Mm-hmm. Now, imagine you're Microsoft, and you now own Frostbite and have the ability to license one of the best games, one of the best tools for making first-person games. EA doesn't want to license Frostbite out. Right. Microsoft has a profit model from potentially licensing it out. And Microsoft did buy a company last week. One of the things that has kind of gotten lost in the fact that people are like, oh shit, is Microsoft going to buy EA? is that Microsoft did buy a company this week called PlayFab.
Right.
And PlayFab's their industry position is they provide back-end architecture services for cloud gaming computing.
Mm-hmm.
So they buy a company who's known for like cloud-based computing services for multiplayer online games, and it starts to paint a larger picture as to like what their objectives look. Microsoft doesn't care if you buy a Switch. Microsoft doesn't care if you buy a PlayStation. They want you to turn on that PlayStation. They want you to turn on that Switch. They want you to turn on whatever you're playing on, and then have a desire to access their services on that other platform. Like, oh, it's a bummer that I can't do more Microsoft stuff on my PlayStation. They are going to get to a place where, like, they can portray other people as jerks for not letting them insinuate themselves onto their platforms.
Well, okay. So one of the things that reminds me of is your experience with LA Noire. How when you played the remastered version, on the Switch, and it was remastered on the Xbox before that, there was a bunch of content that was licensed out to a bunch of different people. There was like a Taco Bell exclusive mission, and there was a Red Bull exclusive costume, stuff like that. And all of that in one house doesn't really solve that problem. If there are game experiences that you would rather have on your Switch or on your PlayStation, and you access the full thing because you need Xbox Live, that's something that I think people would overwhelmingly begrudge Xbox Live for. There are definitely people that would blame Nintendo and Sony. Is like, why didn't you just make it easier for Microsoft to give me the rest of the game? But what's actually happening is that Microsoft is holding part of the game hostage behind Xbox Live. And unless that becomes a lot simpler, which they could if it becomes, streamlined through like Windows machines, and it's a good idea for everyone to have, then sure. But I'm not sure it's that insidious yet. And I don't know what they're planning on that front, and I assume that someone there has a plan to make sure that that's what happens, but I haven't seen it yet. That's where I'm at.
I just don't want cool dad Phil Spencer to be secretly evil, man.
I mean, that happens, dude. Like, sometimes you're the hero, and sometimes you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Like, what are you going to do?
I mean, that seems to be trash. Tegan, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm scared.
That's fair.
Don't let Brian scare you. Video games are going to be fine.
Too late, I'm already scared.
God damn it. Tegan, what's going on with Nintendo? How'd they do this year?
Oh man, they're printing money. Nintendo's printing money. They did the earnings call last week, and lifetime sales of the Switch now exceed Wii U lifetime sales, and this thing hasn't been out
5 years or something? 10 years?
Yeah, and the Switch has been out for 11 months. Let's see. The Super Mario movie has been confirmed, and they're partnering with Illumination Entertainment.
Oh, good.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. All right, look. I have very specific needs for the Super Mario movie.
All right, let's hear them.
All right, I'm going to need for Super Mario to be portrayed by Colin Farrell.
Oh, God. Colin Farrell's already signed up for, like, Microsoft. He is Xbox.
No, you're thinking Will Ferrell. I want Colin Farrell.
Oh, God, I am.
Yeah, to be Super Mario. And I'm going to need Jessica Chastain to be Princess Peach.
She would look like ridiculous blonde.
You know what? We don't even color her hair. We do it in post. We do it in post.
Brian, please.
And Mario can't get over the fact that Peach and Bowser have a weird sex thing going on, and he's just been kind of getting in the way of it for years. And Bowser is portrayed by John Cena.
No, I don't think I like any of that casting.
Okay.
Those castings are
Toad
wrong.
is portrayed by John Leguizamo. Which is a nice callback to the original Mario movie.
We don't want to talk about that. That's a thing we're trying to scrape from the history books, man.
No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It is
Rocky.
not a good movie.
It's good.
It's a good movie, Rocky.
Oh my god. It's not a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's fun. It doesn't hurt anybody.
It hurt me. I feel personally damaged by the original Super Mario movie.
So you don't want a scene where Jessica Chastain as Peach and John Cena as Bowser are like, snuggling. And then in bursts Colin Farrell Mario. And then he looks in her eyes. And then he looks in Bowser's eyes. And realize this was never about her. This was about them. And Mario climbs into bed with Bowser and Peach.
No.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want that in my life, Brian.
100 Marios jump out of a plane.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Tegan, what's going on with Nintendo?
So in addition to all that good news, Kimishima said that the 3DS will continue to have releases in tandem with the Switch.
Is this good?
I'm
Is
not
this good or bad?
Okay, so one, I still feel like that's a lie, and two, that seems really weird. Like, I understand that, like, discontinuing the 3DS is a bad idea because the install base is there and people still are buying games. And to be honest, I'm not sure whether or not the Switch will actually compete against the 3DS specifically. But I haven't seen a release yet that, came out on the Switch that I wish was on 3DS or vice versa. Like, I
can think of shit that came out of the 3DS that I wish was on the Switch.
Recently? Like what?
The Metroid 2 remake.
Oh, Samus Returns?
Yep.
Nah,
I would much rather sit that playing on my couch.
I mean, I get that, but I'm not a fan of Samus Returns, and I don't think it should have been on the Switch. Also, like, they announced Metroid Prime 4, which is going to be, like, a much bigger game, and I'd rather just have that.
And there is a game coming out in March that I would much rather play sitting on my couch in the form of Detective fucking Pikachu.
Okay. No, I'll take that. I would like a cross-buy for that game, and I know that's not what's going to happen, and that does seem like a missed opportunity. But hold on, the Amiibo, what if it is a cross-buy? Because Amiibos work on both. Like,
But the game itself is not going to be available on the Switch platform.
That's weird.
Unless, like, also, I wish Nintendo would just admit that there's a fucking Direct this month. Come on, guys. We all know what's happening. Like, but unless part of that, like, February Direct is like, surprise, Detective Pikachu is also on Switch. It is a 3DS only game.
Okay. No, I get that.
I mean, my main gripe with the 3DS still existing is that I want all of Nintendo's development resources to be on the Switch. Like, get all those people there. Like, I know that Nintendo has a lot of teams, and usually those teams' focuses are, divided between two platforms. But can you imagine if all of those teams were ginning up titles for a single platform? Nintendo would have, like, fucking 2 exclusives a month.
I mean, that's assuming that
we'd never be able to keep up.
Well, there's also that, but
we also don't have to play every game.
Yeah, but we'd want to. #March.
Yeah.
But I think that I actually like Nintendo having different focuses sometimes. There are some things where they try to work together, like. And sometimes they work together just based on, like, multiple platforms, which don't work well. Like Four Swords or Crystal Chronicles. And having all of that manpower in, like, a single space may create, a new golden age in video games. But it may just have a lot of personalities butting heads that don't have to. Like, I don't know. I understand that, like, it might be better if everybody was working on the same thing, and that's assuming that they're all working together. But I understand, like, if someone's working on a 3DS game, if they begrudge, like, someone working on, like, the main platform, that's something different. But things like The World Ends With You wasn't going to happen on the Wii U the same way, or even on, like, the standard Wii. Like, that wasn't going to be as phenomenal an experience as it was on the 3DS. Like, they took, like, this game that was, like, decidedly portable, and they made it like that. And while the Switch is a hybrid console, the games don't have hybrid experiences, is what I would say. That, like, when I'm playing Breath of the Wild, I'd much rather play it on TV mode, and while I can play it on handheld, I generally choose not to. Or when I'm playing games like Kamiko or Stardew Valley, I feel worse about it playing on TV than I do, like, in handheld. Like, it's just, I feel like they're crafting completely different experiences that can be used on the same console, which is cool, but I don't think combining the manpower will give the kind of boost that you're describing.
Okay. I mean, and I realize that, like, Nintendo has a history of, games, systems that, like, have longer lives when the systems are successful, and then shorter lives when the systems are unsuccessful. Like, they wrapped up the GameCube real fucking quick. They wrapped up the N64 real quick. But the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, and the Nintendo DS are 4 machines that just would not die.
Right.
Like, there were bangers coming out on, like, the fucking Chrono Trigger came out in, like, what, 96?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Like, I mean, Donkey Kong Country, like, was, like, what, 95, 96? Like, they definitely will keep on supporting platforms when an install base is there.
Right.
When the install base is like, give us new games. And I guess one thing that Kimishima did mention, which I guess I should acknowledge, is that when systems become older technology, they also by necessity become cheaper technology.
Right.
And he did mention the fact that the 3DS was, like, substantially cheaper than the Switch, and that it kind of, like, functioned as both, like, an economic entry point and, like, an age entry point, like, saying that, like, parents are more comfortable giving their kids a 3DS than a Switch. And I'm like, oh, it's cheaper and it doesn't matter if kids break it. Cool. I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a new 2DS, like the little, like,
yeah,
the ones that look like a shitty plastic doorstop. Those things are like $100.
Yeah,
maybe $80 even.
2DSs are dope, man. Like, they're actually really cool.
Yeah. I would prefer one of the ones that folds, but, like, the ones that don't fold are literally $80.
Yeah.
So no big deal if your, like, 5-year-old drops it in the toilet. So solid. Tegan, what else happened?
I wouldn't say no big deal, but, like,
less of a big
deal. Yeah. Let's see. There was a Mario Kart mobile game announced, which none of us seem particularly thrilled about, honestly.
I'm not into it.
Well, it's the fucking mobile track record, man. Like, God damn it. You've got that, like, Miitomo and Fire Emblem. Like, have they released any good mobile games? I
still feel like Fire Emblem's not as bad as you say. I have very strong feelings against Pocket Camp. Miitomo was fun for a little bit, but not a really rewarding experience. And Super Mario Run was lackluster at best. But I'm not going to trash this, like, Mario Kart game. I'm just going to say that I don't care about it.
I will leave you one dark thought, and I will stop.
Okay.
In Mario Kart.
100 Mario Karts jump out of a plane.
Not where I was going, but...
That actually sounds like fun. I'd play that game.
That sounds like... Actually, Tegan, I think you might be onto something.
Yeah!
Actually, oh yeah, wasn't there that fucking Battle Royale game announced this week that's like 100 cars jump out of a plane?
Yeah, it's Twisted Metal Battle Royale.
Oh. But is there anything which seems more slot machine-like, more random gambling-like than the sensation of driving over a question block in Mario Kart. Like, literally the animation for it and the way it works, like, you're watching it cycle through all of the possible things you could get until it's like, okay, and you got a green shell, fuck you. If they actually tie your unlocks in this game to, like, microtransactions, like, if you're like, okay, buy...
No, I'm going to stop you, because that is, and I understand that there is a precedent, but that is actually antithetical to how Mario Kart works in general. Like, it'd be worse than making it an unbalanced multiplayer racing game. Like, it would not be Mario Kart anymore. Like, the people in the carts would still be Mario characters and they would be on go-karts, but the fundamental aspect of the game is that the items that you get from your blocks is tied to where you are at the moment. And being able to pay to change that makes a fundamentally different game that would just be openly bad. And, you know, there is a precedent. I'm looking at you, Pocket Camp. But, like, there's no way they're that dumb. Like, I don't think so. Like, there's a difference between, like, switching up the game to make a cash grab than to, like, fundamentally breaking the game that people know and enjoy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will remain hopeful. I'm going to give most of my cynicism this week to the Microsoft EA rumors, so I will let this dog lie. What else, Tegan? What else?
What else? Let's see. Nintendo also says there are going to be more new ways to play coming beyond Labo, which is that cardboard thing we're all excited about. Yeah. Maybe no one else is excited but me, but I'm excited.
Man, I got my cardboard pre-order. I'm so fucking stoked. I'm going to make a robot. It's going to be incredible.
Your cat's going to sit in the piano. It's going to be a party. But yeah, and let's see. They also announced that the Nintendo Online service will be launching in September of this year. Okay. And that the SNES Classic sold 4 million boxes. 4 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of SNES Classics.
That's actually more SNES Classics than Horizon Zero Dawn sold last year.
Yep.
Wow. Nice. So yeah, Nintendo's like kind of printing money.
So I guess that means that Star Fox 2 is a better selling game than Horizon?
Oh no.
Oh no, it does.
That's wild.
And considering that Star Fox 2 is just weird novelty bullshit, like, how many great games can you now just be like, Star Fox 2 sold better than this? Star Fox 2 sold better than Nier Automata.
Oh man, that's wild. Oh god. That's really fun.
God damn it.
Oh boy. You heard it here first, folks.
Okay. The Game Developers Choice Awards made an announcement this week. It will not award Atari founder Nolan Bushnell because of a recent controversy. Basically, one of the things that they were going to give Nolan Bushnell was a special award called the Pioneer Award at the Choice Awards this year. And he was announced as the recipient, but it was followed by social media backlash under the hashtag #NotNolan after reports came out of a fraternity-like culture at Atari. Soon after Bushnell was announced as the recipient, game developers started sharing old interviews, profiles, and sections from biographies that paint a history of inappropriate behavior towards women. Developer and U.S. House of Representatives candidate Brianna Wu highlighted that in the year of the Me Too movement, Bushnell's award is wildly inappropriate. So, Bushnell had a statement saying that, I applaud the GDC for ensuring that their institution reflects what is right, specifically with regards to how people should be treated in the workplace. If my personal actions or the actions of anyone who ever worked with me offended or caused pain to anyone at our companies, then I apologize without reservation. So Bushnell's taking it on the nose, which is, better than a lot of precedents, but this precedent in general that, honoring people that have, I guess, made strides in video games for fair reasons can be, I guess, rewritten by political discourse, which I guess is something that's always happened, but I feel strange about it in this case.
I struggle hard with this one, guys, and I don't know what that says about me. I don't know if that makes me shitty, but I have a really hard time getting my arms around this one.
Well,
like,
no,
it's hard, and I feel like an asshole for it.
There are a lot of moving parts, and I sympathize, empathize with the Me Too movement, and bringing these people that are, or rather, bringing this culture as a whole to justice. That the treatment of other people, especially in workplace environments relating to sexual improprieties, should be, highlighted as much as possible. And not giving him the award, at best, in the best case scenario, puts an asterisk on his entire career, which is important. Like, that asterisk should be there. And I think these achievements are important to the industry as a whole, but this decision is also important. And reconciling them without making one feel lesser or other is really strange and difficult to do. And I think we're still navigating that space. I mean, I am personally.
All right. So I don't know, and I also realize that this is a giant can of worms. But when the piece came out about Aziz Ansari a few weeks ago,
right?
That was one where, I had a lot of feelings when I read it, and I was like, oh gosh, and it felt shitty, and it felt layered, and it felt complex, and it was one of those things where, like, I didn't feel like I necessarily even entirely understood or was able to engage with. Like, I'm like, okay, is there a 100% complete correct reaction to Aziz Ansari? And I felt like at the time I wasn't able to determine one for myself. I couldn't figure out exactly where I should land. Like, so I wasn't even necessarily able to hold myself personally accountable because I couldn't necessarily figure out, like, what was correct at the time. Like, not to walk to jaywalk because that walking in the street is fucking bad. But, like, in the situation, I didn't necessarily feel like I had, like, a context for jaywalking.
I think...
And this one...
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Rocky.
I think that reaction is really important. That, so one of the things that has become a lot louder is, extreme positions. That people need to say that this is bad or this is okay. And I think that type of binary response is coming out of practice. It is becoming less useful to us, especially in situations like this. That I'm not going to advocate, like, centrist and centrism, where it's just like, well, everybody was a little wrong. Let's just all sit down together and we'll talk it out. Like, that seems stupid. And it's counter to the work that's actually being done. But I think the extreme positions are also wrong too. What actually needs to be done is that there are steps that need to be taken in multiple directions. That Aziz Ansari should definitely be punished. I'm not sure if he should go to jail. I'm not sure if I can call that, but I do believe that what happened was at least coercive and manipulative, if not actually sexual assault. And there are definitely things that... Okay, this is where I'm stepping over the thing. I think that communication between both the unnamed Grace and Aziz Ansari were lacking in several different directions. But I think that those things, the fact that this story was shared, is important to look at as a case study. And pointing at one of them and saying that one was wrong is an incomplete analysis of the situation. And
in the case of Bushnell, I spent some time, like, reading the descriptions of the stuff that he was being, called out for, and that this award was being rescinded over.
Right.
And one of the examples was that he held a board meeting at his house, in his hot tub, like the whole board of Atari, everybody who sat on the board came to Bushnell's mansion up in the hills, and the meeting was at the hot tub, and that when they realized that there were some papers that the board needed to sign, he called down to Atari headquarters, and secretary came up to the house with the papers to sign, and he tried to convince the secretary to get in the hot tub, and then she left. And then there was another example of that there was the various code names for Atari hardware iterations, like, okay, like this version of the Atari VCS has this code name. The various code names for these projects were names of women who worked at the office.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And lastly, he gave an interview to the San Francisco Chronicle in 1978, where, like, when the interviewer showed up to his mansion in the hills, he was, like, wandering around in, like, a smoking jacket, and he had, like, copies of books about programming on the same coffee table as, like, a copy of, like, the Kama Sutra. And he's like, oh, you know, some people find me, like, some people find me irresistible, some people find me annoying, that kind of thing. Like, and I don't know, man. Like, I just, God damn it. I just,
Okay, so one of the stronger
I feel like a lot of that stuff we need a little more information on, because just from what you're saying, like, it's not sitting well in my soul. You know? Like, it feels sleazy in my spirit, and I don't like that feeling.
I get that. I think this guy, like, I mean, Bushnell sounds like a sleazeball. And even though he did this important work, I don't think we should shy away from him being a sleazeball. And in the past, the way that this has usually gone is that, yeah, sure, like in real life, Bushnell was a sleazeball, but he did all this important stuff. So they only talk about the important stuff, and they shy away from the fact that he's a sleazeball. I think that it might be an overcorrection to rewrite his history as simply a sleazeball that ran Atari. I think that we need to be able to reckon with both of those things and categorize him as both someone that is productive and possibly a gross human being. A productive, gross human being. That should be something that we can reckon with. And we should ideally try to find the people that can be productive without being sleazy. And that's the main motivator behind crushing people like Bushnell, like, irrespective of his achievements. And I understand that wholeheartedly, but I also believe that the idea of character assassination, so that's all that they become, seems ill-advised.
And one of the things that, like, I struggle with is the contextualizing and is there value to the personal development and redemption of human beings that exists. Like, one of the things that, you know, happened in the last several months is that, like, apropos of nothing, Dan Harmon on his podcast Harmontown like went like full bore and did like a completely, and this is according to the victim thereof, did a completely accurate retelling of his actions as a an abuser and as a piece of shit. Like, here's the thing I was doing when I was running Community. Here's what I was doing to one of the women who was a writer on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you only can do these things if you're not treating somebody as human, if you're not viewing them as human. Like, I like there's no excuse for it. I am trash. Like, it just made a full accounting for it, and said that, like, no one should ever suffer or bear the cost of his actions than him. And it's one of those situations where, like, most of these people in, like, these various worlds, like music, film, games, these guys are sweating because they're waiting for somebody to out them, and instead Dan Harmon outed himself. Mm-hmm. and like then provided this, like, accurate retelling, and the woman who was the subject of it said, like, I've been carrying this weight for years, and, like, I haven't been, unable to forgive what you have done, but, like, she then, like, very publicly is like, I can forgive you now. Like, it was evident that, like, that he had paid that price personally. Obviously, like, he got fired from Community at the time, and, like, mm-hmm. he burned up his marriage and started to, like, develop this, like, greater troubling relationship with alcohol. He had paid his price, and so she was in a position to say publicly, like, and I forgive you now. And one of the other things that Nolan Bushnell has said since then, like, in addition to the statement that's here, is he also said, like, hey, if the price we need to pay, or no, it wasn't the price we need. If the price I need to pay for all women to have a safer workplace is for me to not get this award, then I'm happy to pay that price. And I don't have a lot of I don't think fucking many people have a lot of transparency into, like, what Nolan Bushnell was even doing, like, say, 25 years ago. Because a lot of the shit that's being described here is stuff that literally happened 40 years ago. And his immediate reaction to this was to say, yep, take the award away from me. Like, don't want to hurt anybody. And that's one thing that I don't know how to put a value on it. I don't know how to judge it. I don't know how to, like, allow for it or understand it, because, people are not static. People change, people grow, and I don't know how we account for that.
Well,
but
I know that we're developing that technology.
Did Microsoft buy it?
Not yet, but also they don't exactly know what it is. The ability for people to, like, reckon with the idea of other people being both complicated and dynamic is something that has been, the essential part of fiction for a long time. And now that it's bleeding over into, like, the public space in common but also fantastic ways, is something that we, like, as a species have to start figuring out. And I'm not sure if Bushnell is, like, agreeing to have the award taken away from him because he is legitimately interested in the improvement of workplace conditions for women, or if he is potentially letting this lie because he doesn't want anyone to dig any deeper to find anything more recent or more terrible to bring up.
Well,
and
go ahead.
What I'm saying is that those things are possibilities, and I can't, nail down his motives or even, like, identify his actions. And the short version of why I can't do that is because I don't know enough about people. That, like, people are actually a lot more complicated than we were ever taught to understand. And the fact that we have to understand that now, potentially, to survive it with people who have intensely public lives, because lives are more public than they've ever been, and that that the dissemination of information for things that have happened, that are happening, that are planned to happen, are moving faster than ever in recorded history, like, we all have to adapt to that. Like, this wouldn't have been a story like in the 50s. It would have been buried in like a police report somewhere that no one would have ever found. You know, like 100 years ago, like, it would have been a whisper from a grandmother to some child that was barely listening. And now it's just on the internet. You can read a full account of it. Like, that's not a thing that's ever happened in human civilization. And the fact that we have access to those tools means that, or that kind of information, that it is both like beneficial and potentially dangerous at the same time, is something that we have to adapt to.
I mean, just don't treat your fellow humans like shit.
Well, yeah.
And then there's nothing to hide, and you don't have to worry about, oh, this scandal's gonna come to light, and then it's gonna ruin my career. Like, just don't treat people like shit. Don't hit on your secretaries and shit. Stop it. Jeez. Don't be a creepy old man in a hot tub. Just don't do those things. I don't understand why it's so hard.
I think it's the other way around. It's not that it's hard not to, but it's so easy to. And especially
don't do it. If it's easy to do something and people keep doing it, that means it's hard to not do it.
Well, okay. Yeah,
just don't do it. Just don't be a dick.
Well, that's another thing. Like these types of punishments, this like public flogging as quickly as it's been happening is like new. Like, people in power have always been able to do these kinds of things, and they weren't being punished for them. They just simply weren't. They just, they make sure a certain person stays quiet and no one will hear about it, or they make sure that these people won't talk about it and it's no longer a thing. And that world is changing. And so, like,
I think that if we gave an annual award for stories that we have covered on the show that have been biggest bummers and hardest to figure out total accountings of, this might be one of them, man.
This one definitely goes in the top 5.
Yeah, it's a fucker.
Well, I mean,
That's right.
All right. We gotta move on. This thing's a terrible shit show, but we've gotta move on. There's other terrible shit shows.
Yeah, there's the newest terrible shit show of Overwatch League not having a code of conduct.
Okay, well, I mean, hold on. Like, what... Is that really that big of a deal? I mean, I feel like if everyone just says, let's be excellent to each other, it'd be fine, right?
We just did a story on sexual harassment. You're asking if not having a visible code of conduct is a good thing?
I'm just saying it might not be super required. Also,
what if they had a double secret code of conduct?
Just the juxtaposition of those two comments were hilarious.
I did it on purpose.
Anyway.
I'm playing a character.
Right, exactly. Okay. It's all an act, guys. It's all an act. Rocky's not sexist. So the Overwatch League does have a code of conduct, but you can't see it until, Nate Nanzer, the league commissioner, gets around to posting it online. And he still hasn't done that.
Like
and we're like 4 weeks in to the season. He's literally like, quote, we just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know the exact timeline, but it's something that we're working on, and I think we'll have it published within the next few months. Like, are you shitting me?
Well, okay, so what would they have to gain by keeping their code of conduct secret?
Well, by not having a code of conduct that's public, you can hold players accountable for behaviors that they did not know that would be against the code of conduct. So that's shitty for your employees. Number one. You can be like, oh yeah, you violated our code of conduct and it's a terminable offense. And they're like, what? But I didn't know about that part of the code of conduct. And it doesn't matter because they can fire you for it.
Okay, but...
So that's shit.
Apparently, because I've looked into this story a little bit, and from what I understand, the players, the coaches, and owners have all signed contracts that include some sort of code, some terminable offenses, some things that they're not allowed to do. But it's just that
that's
we
just
can't see.
On their team. Like, your team can have a code of conduct, and the league can have a code of conduct, and those can be separate entities. So you can't, it's not fair to have the league hold you accountable for something that your team might not. Or say your code of conducts are in conflict with each other. Mm-hmm. And they'd have no way of knowing that. And that's super shitty.
I guess what I'm saying...
So there's that.
I mean, okay. So, I'm not saying that Overwatch doesn't have a code of conduct. If this is a stall to hide the fact that they don't have a code of conduct, that is absolutely shitty. There's no way around that. But
I bet you $100 it's a stall.
But what I'm saying is that the players, they signed contracts with their teams to sign with their team, but they've also signed contracts with the league, with Blizzard. And like, while, I can't even remember his name anymore, but the players that play for Dallas Fuel are also, they're also technically employees of Blizzard Interactive. And because of that, like, if they have conflicting codes of conduct, that is something that they can solve internally. I'm asking, what is the need for the code of conduct to be something that you and I can read?
Well, I guess if we have visibility into that, then we have understanding whether or not the league is, like, say, softballing punishment of a player because he's higher profile and bringing in viewership. Like, let's say somebody does some dirtbag thing and the league doesn't...
tell another guy that he'd love to suck dick.
Like, oh, for example...
maybe for example.
For example. And then the league kind of softballs their penalty. We would have a point of reference as to what the, like, say, prescribed range of action was, if it's available.
Okay.
And, like, even so, like, then, a lot of company codes of conduct say, like, when you're not participating at our business, you're still representing our company. Mm-hmm. So they can cover their bases of, like, you're posting shit online that we don't agree with, and so we're letting you go. Like, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And because all of these Overwatch League players are also streamers, we could hold them accountable on their own streams.
Ah, okay. Now I get that.
Man, we're in the darkest fucking timeline.
Not yet. I still maintain.
I mean, we're getting there.
We are getting there. Because, Kaz Hirai actually stepped down as CEO of Sony. So, that one head-ass from Sony Interactive Europe, what's his name?
Jim Ryan.
There we go. Jim Ryan. Who was named deputy president. There isn't an actual president above him anymore? Or maybe I'm missing something.
No, okay. All right. So, Jim Ryan reports into John Codera, who is president of Sony Interactive Entertainment. Okay. Sony Interactive Entertainment is a division of Sony. Okay. Kaz Hirai is the CEO of the whole shooting match, the whole kettle of fish, like Sony Pictures, music, Sony Television, Sony Music, Sony TVs, Sony fuck you refrigerators, like all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but the good thing is that Kaz came from Sony Interactive. He came from PlayStation, which is why, like, during his time as CEO, he prioritized PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So, Well,
I mean, Sony Interactive has actually had a lot of significant growth lately, in addition to...
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely a lot of good work for him. Do we know why he's standing down?
He's retiring. I guess when you make $1 zillion, you can afford to retire a little early.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
I want to make $1 zillion.
I don't actually want to make $1 zillion.
I want to make $1 zillion and retire and play video games all day.
Well, I feel like I can retire and play video games all day without making $1 zillion. I feel like
No, I need $1 zillion.
If I make like a couple million, I think I'll be alright.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, okay, that'd be fair. But, like, if you had $1 zillion, you could also commission really high-quality cosplays.
I think you can still do that with millions, Tegan. I'm not sure.
Nope.
I haven't run the numbers yet.
Nope. I want a life-size diva mech, and that will take several zillion dollars.
Several zillion. Okay, I mean...
It's gotta walk
Okay.
and shoot.
Okay, so I mean, I haven't done the numbers, and I mean, Tegan might have, so I mean, I can't argue with that logic. I can't do it. We do have a quote from Hirai stating, as the company approaches a crucial juncture, when we will embark on a new mid-range plan, I consider this time to be the ideal time to pass the baton of leadership to new management, for the future of Sony, and for myself to embark on a new chapter of my life. So he's definitely retiring. But I feel like there's a new mid-range plan that may not prioritize Sony Interactive, because I know they've also made some personal changes in Sony Music that were pretty important in the past month.
Yeah. So I'm definitely curious as to how this plays out. I'm also interested in seeing, like, how does Sony as a company react to the Switch as a hardware device and Microsoft's shift toward more like network services and being more of a platform than a device in the video game space. Like, you know, having somebody who came from PlayStation at the very top has definitely always like guided that business. Mm-hmm. So interesting times, y'all. If not the worst timeline, we definitely live in the most interesting one.
Yeah.
There's
a theory that I keep forgetting what it's called, but like that the universe, the world that we live in, keeps becoming stranger, because if it didn't, it would be over. Kind of like The Good Place, actually.
Wow.
I'm ready for it to be over.
Tegan, please. I got things.
I want off the ride.
There are things I want to do.
But speaking of things that are terrible...
Oh, here we go.
I definitely want off the ride.
Electronic Arts had their earnings call.
Okay.
Yeah, and how was it?
During the call, hilarious Australian EA CEO Andrew Wilson described Star Wars Battlefront 2 as a learning opportunity.
That's optimistic.
That is one way to phrase it.
Rocky, if we could just insert after the words learning opportunity a sad trombone, I would enjoy that.
Okay. Get a sad trombone for you, man.
As the game failed to meet predicted sales targets. In addition, the next Star Wars game from EA probably won't be a new Battlefront, but be the game from Respawn. Wilson went on to say, "We never intended to build an experience that would be seen as unfair or lacking clear progression. So we removed the feature that was taking away from what fans were telling us was an otherwise great game. Koalas, koalas, koalas."
Fuck off. Fucking koalas, man.
All right. I just want to know, who are all these fucking people telling Andrew Wilson that Battlefront 2 is a good game? Who are these people? Show me these motherfuckers. They don't exist.
Okay. Well, I mean, Battlefront is actually a pretty good game.
Who took Rocky?
No, man. Like, honestly, like it's a solid shooter. Like, and there's a lot of like neat shit you get to do. You can fly ships and like turn into Jedi or Sith and whatever. Like, that's neat. It's just like the way that they gated the content to you was fucked. Like, and that's what it was. But otherwise, the game itself is like, okay, I'm not sure if I'd call it great. I'm not sure if I'd say it was an 8 out of 10, but it's cool. It's better than like the average game.
Would you say that the graphics were an erotic 8 out of 10?
Oh, God.
Sure.
Okay.
I could say that.
It's one sexy Boba Fett.
A Boba Booty, if you will.
Oh my god.
Maybe a Booba Fett?
A Boba Fett! Oh, God.
So, Battlefront 2, one of the things that was revealed on this call was the total number of sales, digital plus physical, for that title, which was 9 million, which was well below expectations. For a point of reference, they were expecting to sell 15 million copies of this fucking thing. And they also put a date on Respawn's game for them, which is expected to fall sometime between April 2019 to March 2020. So we know that they need to push it out that fiscal year. So, what do you guys think of this bullshit?
I mean, as usual with EA, when they're doing things well, I don't really care. And when they're doing things that are terrible, which is usually, I would politely ask them to fuck off. Actually, not politely. I would boldly ask them to fuck off.
What?
Sternly?
Sternly.
What if EA had a father that would take them
If
out?
EA had a father, their father would come around and give him a good spanking by now. Jeez.
If EA's dad, took him for like a drive, and they went and played catch, and then they got milkshakes, and then dad said, "Look, EA, I love you. I'm just disappointed. I'm your cool leather jacket dad. I'm Phil Spencer."
That is totally not where I thought that was gonna go. I thought that was gonna go where he was gonna take him out and sit him on a hill and tell him to look at the sunset and tell him what he wanted to do in the future and then shoot him in the back of the head.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, Tegan. We're just gonna have EA murdered?
That's where I thought that was going.
What is that fucking of mice and Madden shit you just pulled on us?
And then you were like, and then he's like, I'm just disappointed with you. I'm cool dad Phil Spencer. I was like, this took a turn.
It just didn't take the turn that Tegan wanted.
All right. Is there any
I
good
thought
news?
we were going to have EA taken out to pasture like EA's done with all of our favorite things.
God damn it. Is there any good news in this world?
Yeah. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 got a release date, man. Like, it's coming out. It's coming out this year.
Is it really coming out this year?
Yeah. It's
Are we sure about that?
It's coming out on October 26th. Like, that's a pretty hard date. And, like, even if they do the Final Fantasy 15 thing, like, it's going to be in there for holiday. Like, you can play it for Christmas. Even Rockstar, they actually gave a statement. They said, "We apologize to everyone disappointed by this delay. We had hoped to have the game out sooner. We require a little extra time for polish." So, it's like, please understand. But also, that's not a real apology. Like,
yeah, I feel like this was when I read that, I felt like it was just missing the please understand. Like, it felt like please understand. And
yeah, this is a please understand, like, statement.
But, which I guess seems appropriate because there are not many series and there are not many developers whose game coming out is as big a deal as, like, say, I don't know, like a new Zelda or a new Mario, but Rockstar being like, we've got a new game coming out. That is definitely that territory, that tier.
We have a new game coming out and it's not Grand Theft Auto.
Please understand. It's the cowboy one. You'll like it. We swear.
I mean, it'll be cool, dude. Like, and I don't know if anyone remembers, but Red Dead Redemption was kind of a big game. Like, there was a lot of shit going on, like, the whole time. And so, if 2 is any indication of that with, like, current hardware, like, it's probably going to be wild. So, like, it'll be cool, man. Look forward to it. Mark your calendar, October 26th. And, maybe set, like, an extra date, like, November 24th or something. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
So sometime, between Halloween and, Christmas, we're going to get our cowboy on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, so
and it's not like I won't find some stuff to play on Steam in the meantime.
Oh God! So what's how do we do on Friday? Like, because I'm pretty sure because last year we talked about it. We said that about 700 some games came out on Steam. No more, 7,000. Is that right?
7,000.
Yeah, so that's like 20 games a day. Did we hit 20 games on Friday?
68.
68. See, man, like. We're going to have more games. It's going to be wild.
Yeah. Today, so far, there's only 5 so far today. But they include Running King for $2.24.
Why 20? Never mind. I don't want to know why it's $2.24. What's Running King, man?
Running King says, help the king to run away from the crowd, which is mad and is following him to catch and punish for all years of terrible ruling. Control the environment, not the character. So you appear to have like one guy who's like a lemming, and you have to move stuff in the environment so that way he can escape.
I don't want to do that.
Oh my god. This is the first time this has happened since we've started this segment. This is the first time that a game actually popped onto Steam while we've been doing this bit.
Oh no!
So
What game?
We went from 5 to 6.
What unfortunate game joined the ranks?
Ling just released.
What is Ling, man? What just happened?
Ling is $8, and it says, following the call of inner heart, the young man starts another journey of adventure. Faced with tough enemies and fierce fights, it's not certain whether the young man can reach the final. The only choice is to moving forward with determination and clenched fist of swinging greatsword.
The only choice is to move forward with determination and the clenching fist of greatsword.
No.
And the clenching fist!
It's not certain whether the young man can reach the final.
I'm the call of heart.
Can you reach the final? Have you ever accidentally reached the final?
Oh my
I've
god.
reached the final. I am the final. Also, and Ling is $7.99, but that's far more expensive than Let's Zigzag.
Let's Zigzag.
Oh, no.
Yes. Which
Zigzag?
is 59 cents. And its description is, Let's Zigzag is a pretty casual indie game with gameplay needs of reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Bullet points include nice graphical aspect with a day and night sickle.
Mm-hmm. A sickle.
It is misspelled. Fully randomly generated levels, making them very challenging. How to play. Space to change the direction. That is it. This is the whole of the bullet points.
It has one control and it's spacebar. Oh my god.
Bright Bob, which is 49 cents.
Mm-hmm. It's less than Let's Zigzag. Zigzag had one button. It's 69 cents. But Bob...
Here comes Bright Bob for 49 cents. Bright Bob, a fascinating and colorful game of skill and reaction. Bob only has time to think. A fascinating and colorful game. Let's see, your game features. Catch the bonus life and the stars. This game has a variety of play. Career and score game. Compete against friends because the game has built-in high score table. Train reaction. I'm watching this gameplay video of Bright Bob, and it's real bad.
Okay, real bad. That's where we're at.
I kind of feel like I need to stream Bright Bob on Twitch.
God damn.
And
you got two more, right?
Yeah. Mechtroid.
No.
It is $1.99. It is a sci-fi themed shooter. The gameplay consists of shooting your way through the levels, getting upgrades as you go, and learning the different enemy types like mini arcade classics. Appears to be a top-down twin-stick shooter. I can't tell whether they're stealing these assets or not. It doesn't look like total trash, which makes me believe that they stole these assets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And lastly, Bankster. Establish your first bank, expand your territory as you take over your opponents, become a Federal Reserve, even make your own currency, then use it against enemy nations. Soon you may control the planet, even the galaxy.
Wait, so I can be a Federal Reserve. That's
yes.
what the game's telling me I can do. Okay.
Your features in Bankster include fully procedural terrain, immersive soundtrack, vehicles, and then in parentheses, yacht, sports car, helicopter.
Wait. Hold on. Just stop for a second.
Okay.
You're telling me that I could be a Federal Reserve, but why do I have to move across terrain? Is that a thing that I'm doing? Or are we talking about a different game? Am I getting mixed up?
100 Federal Reserves jump out of a yacht.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Dude, I don't understand this game. Brian, like, what the shit? What's happening?
I am unsure. They don't have any screenshots at all. They also have something up here that says early access, but they've misspelled the word access. They're spelling it ACCES, so like That's a new thing.
Okay.
Maybe there's a character named Early Access, so like an Access is his family name.
Oh, no. Come on, Brian.
I'm trying to let him off the hook. But that is what came out on Steam today.
And this is the section where we would have Brian and Tegan's cats read your mail, if we had any, but... You know
what? We may not have mail, but I do want to specifically call out 2 types of listener interaction this week. One of which is not mail, but is in fact a iTunes review.
Ooh.
Yes.
That means you owe someone a biscuit.
And
you definitely owe somebody a biscuit.
Yeah. And considering that in the review, they specifically called out a desire for a biscuit. That's a whole thing. But I will share our review. It says, downloaded iTunes specifically for the buttered biscuits.
Brian, you gotta get this guy a biscuit, man.
Yeah, so I guess I'll say to this person, I'm going to need you to work with me here because we got to figure out 2 layers of logistics. 1 is the impropriety of me trading baked goods for feedback. 2, if we all decide that we're okay with that morally, how do I get you a biscuit? We got to work this shit out. There is another review that says, great show, fun hosts. Randomly came across this and really love the vibe of the show. All the hosts are funny, and it kind of makes you feel like you're just hanging out in a group of friends. Plan on being a regular listener. Thank you.
Sick.
Yeah, and then...
I'm glad we sound like friends.
Yeah. It's like, man, they don't even know that we all just fucking hate each other. It's incredible.
Oh, God.
Oh, I just meant like I haven't met either of you in real life.
We haven't met each other either. None of us have actually met each other in real life. We're all online internet friends doing a podcast for people to hear.
Woo!
We talk about anime and video games and TV.
Yep. And then there was a little bit of feedback that kind of got shared on our Facebook that I wanted to... I guess call attention to or thank the person who shared the feedback with us.
Do it.
Let's see here. I believe that it was... Where's the post? I think it's that... I don't... Is it Julian Rincon or Julian Rincon? I don't know.
No, you can say Julian. Julian Rincon.
Julian, okay. But... They said that the episode A New Land Free of Bamboo was hot fire. And they specifically enjoyed the part about Hoyt Axton's counterpunch because they said that they've done that so many times and that they enjoyed all the panda bashing. A+.
Panda bashing. Oh no.
Yeah. So
thank
you very much for the feedback.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian. Say that one more time.
I was gonna just thanks for the feedback.
Yeah. Tegan, did you listen to the episode? Did you hear how much Joe and Brian actually hate pandas?
Yeah, I heard.
I
still like pandas. I think they're cute.
Fuck them.
Nope. I like them. They're cute.
Oh man. Okay, so guys, there's music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It is produced by Kev NNA. His latest project, Spirit, is now available on Apple Music, Spotify, and Google Play. Now, if you leave us reviews like the beautiful people that did so earlier, we will be eternally grateful. You can leave them on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. But if you leave them on iTunes, Brian will send you a biscuit. Our Discord, the Impossible Coin Discord, is real now. You will find links in the description of this podcast and on all of our social media. And you can use it to, keep up with us on Monster Hunter Mondays, which is when I'll be streaming Monster Hunter with my co-host, hopefully. And they're on Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's not a good time. They are at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. But otherwise, you can find us on the Facebooks, the Twitters, and the Tumblrs. And if you look real hard, you might be able to find Festival Hardbody on Instagram.
You have to believe, though.
You gotta believe. Believe in us. I believe in you.
No, you don't. He doesn't exist.
God damn it. God damn it, Tegan.
I'm gonna shatter that illusion every time it comes
See,
up.
Tegan doesn't believe in Festival Hard Body. She'll come around
I
one day,
don't.
but we'll see.
He believes in her.
He does believe in Tegan.
Oh God.
All right.
Maybe I'm the fake one.
Tegan is just a simulation. She's a...
Oh God, that'd be amazing. I'm down to be a simulation.
Well, I think that's a show, guys. There's been so much chaos. I'm not even sure how this part goes anymore. But I think one of us says something.
It's definitely you, Brian. You're the one that says the thing.
Oh, do I say?
Yeah, you say the thing.
Do I say peace? Peace.
Yep. And I say bye.
Later.